Today, we're working on the first thrift flip of the year. I'm on the hunt for the perfect secondhand item for an upcoming makeover. I've done many thrift flips in my day, but this one is special because it's going into the first makeover that I'm doing outside of my home, so the pressure is on. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Today we are working on a really fun project. I am on a mission to thrift flip a piece of furniture. So right now I'm actually planning a surprise makeover, and I'm not going to say who it's for because they might be watching this video and it's not gonna happen for a couple of weeks from now. This is gonna be the first time that I make over a space outside of my own home. So I'm very nervous, but I'm also really excited because I have some fun ideas for this space. In the existing bedroom, there actually is no headboard. And as I was searching around online, I was just finding that headboards can get really expensive, especially for the style that I am imagining for this space. So I thought, why not look on Facebook Marketplace and find something and refurbish it? So I'm gonna take you along this entire journey and hopefully we create something beautiful for this makeover. And before we jump into it, I want to give Squarespace a huge thank you for sponsoring today's video, but I will talk more about them a little bit later on. Okay, so I want to show you guys my inspo for this project. So I spent a lot of time looking at Pottery Barn. They have some really beautiful headboards and I think it's gonna fit this makeover really well. The only issue is the price tag is a little bit higher than I would like to spend on this makeover. We are working on a tight budget, so I definitely want to find something secondhand. Let me record my screen. So this is what I'm thinking. White oak, because I think that looks beautiful and luxurious, and I just really love the tones of this. So this is kind of the main inspo that I'm drawing from. This bed ranges from $1,000 to $1,600, which I definitely do not have for this makeover. If anything, we're trying to do this makeover for under $1,000, so this is definitely not in the budget. But again, I'm just drawing inspiration from this, and I also found some other pieces that looked really beautiful, like this one right here. I like how simple this is, but I do wish that there was a little bit more detail to this version. As I was scrolling around, I saw this one, which I really love the colors of. The grayish beige color in the upholstery is just perfect, and I just like how clean and simple this is. And then the other option I was thinking was to do a cane headboard, but I think I might do some caning details in the nightstands. So this is another idea that I'm still playing around with. Okay guys, it is time to do a deep dive on Facebook Marketplace. So I'm just gonna type in headboard and also the size. That is also important. So let's see what we find. Ooh. Okay. These options are actually not bad. It's just not what I'm going for. This one looks so beautiful. $200. That's not bad. I think that's a good price to pay, especially if you don't plan on DIYing it. But I do want something that is not so expensive, and if I want to change it or stain it, I don't feel bad about doing it. What else is there? Metal frames, tufted frames. This one would be kind of cool. Not sure what type of wood, but it's super heavy and solid. I'm wondering if I could take this and strip off the paint. It would be a lot of elbow grease, but it would be worth it if the wood tone underneath is beautiful. Plus, this is only $40 and it's been on here for 15 weeks, so I'm sure that we could get it for even less maybe. Okay, I'm gonna keep scrolling and I will report back once I find something good. Okay guys, I think I found the perfect headboard. This is only $40 and the seller says that it is a solid oak wood, which is definitely what I'm looking for. Right now it's looking really orange, so I'm hoping that we can strip off the stain and get it into this beautiful natural wood tone. It currently has these 3 sections, which I'm debating whether or not I should keep it like that, but so far this is looking very promising and hopefully we can snatch it up and get it by tomorrow. Okay, just picked up the headboard. It's so cute. Here she is, the headboard is here, and as you can tell, the tone on this is very orange, so I definitely want to change that up. But overall, this headboard is in such excellent condition, and for $40, you really can't beat that. There are just a couple of little scratches here and there, but that is totally fine. And I was trying to figure out if this is solid wood or not, but I don't think it is, and I think if we look off here to the side, you could see that this is plywood with some veneer on top, so I suspect this whole thing is as well. My original plan was to strip this so that we can get off some of that orange tone, so I think that we could still do that. We just have to be careful when we're sanding it down because it is a veneer on top, so we don't have that much to work with. I really love the detailing here, and the curved edges just look so beautiful, so I'm definitely going to keep that. And I think once it's a different color, it's gonna look stunning, but I'm just trying to figure out what to do with this middle section. So I'm gonna go ahead and just brainstorm some ideas and figure out exactly what I want to do here before we actually touch it. Instagram. Here it is without a filter, so you guys can tell it is very orange, which I'm not a fan of. So. Okay, so good news is I realized that the actual trim parts are solid wood, and then the flat part of the headboard is actually where the plywood is. So I think we're actually pretty good because for the most part I'm going to be covering this anyways. So we're basically going to be stripping the outside perimeter. And before I can even do that, we gotta give this a big scrub down. So I like to use Crud Cutter on this. It is non-toxic and biodegradable and overall a safer choice. So I'm just going to clean the whole entire thing and then we can get started. Really, I am sure. Ew. Alright, so I think we are ready to start stripping. So I have this citrus strip. This is the only one that I've ever used and it works pretty well. I'm gonna grab an old paintbrush and basically just apply it onto the trim here. I'm gonna do this in small sections at a time because we have a large area and you definitely don't want it sitting on there for too long because then it can dry out. I do have some plastic wrap which I like to put on top of, that way it doesn't dry out, and it's supposed to speed up the process as well, but I'm not quite sure how true that is. Okay, I'm gonna put an apron on top of what I'm already wearing because I do not want this to get dirty. I don't understand how people work with this and don't put on gloves or glasses because I'm always worried that something is gonna get into my eye. Gonna do a nice thin layer, and you definitely want to get into the crevices here because that is gonna be pretty tricky to take off. So I'm just brushing on a nice even layer of this, and I'm also just going to make sure that I get into those grooves really well to get all of the stain out. I've used this product before to make over a dresser to remove some paint, and I've also used it in my entryway to take off some stain off of my pony wall, and it has just worked out really great. An alternative would be to sand off the finish, but that would be really tricky with all the details in this, so I chose to strip it instead. When using this stuff, you want to make sure that you're wearing nitrile gloves and also eye protection because you do not want to get this onto your skin. So definitely be cautious when using this. And after everything is covered, you can leave it on for 30 minutes to 24 hours. And depending on the project, you might have to do multiple rounds of this process, which you guys are about to see me do after I run into some issues. We are taking a quick pause here because I want to talk to you guys about today's video sponsor, Squarespace. I've had this big goal to launch a website for so long now, and this is the year that I'm going to make it happen. If you're not familiar with Squarespace, they basically are an all-in-one platform to build your brand or your business online. And I don't know about you guys, but launching a website can seem like such a scary thing to do, but Squarespace has really made it so easy. It can get really confusing, especially with buying a domain name. I really really did not know where to start there. But luckily you're able to buy it right on Squarespace and they don't have any hidden fees or price hikes. So that was super helpful being able to do it right on there. So right now I am the proud owner of TinaLeeMac.com, which you guys will see launch sometime this year. They have over 200 top level domains, so you can find one that best suits you. So luckily I found one with .com, but you could also choose a URL that ends in .net or .org or even .art. So whatever you're looking for, I'm sure that you can find one that suits your needs. And they also just have the best looking themes and templates, which is really important to me. I'm a very visual person, so if you're also an artist or a small business owner, they have the right templates to showcase your work. You can showcase your work in the best light using the professional portfolio designs. They're super customizable, and you can also add a password protected page to share private work with clients. You can also sell your products right onto the store, so whether that's digital products or physical products, they have all the tools you need to get started there. It really does it all, so if you guys want to check out Squarespace, you can click on my link down below for a free trial, and with that link you'll also save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain, which is super awesome, so make sure you guys check that out. I would also love to hear what you guys want to see on my website when I do launch it. I would really love to add my project breakdowns there, so that way you guys have materials lists as well as photos, but if there are any other ideas, please let me know in the comments below. Okay, looks ready. Let's see what we get. So that really did not do much at all, so I'm gonna put on another layer again and let it sit overnight because I've seen people on the interwebs do that, so hopefully that'll give us a better result. I think it's just still too wet. I remember in the past when I did this, it was a little bit more dry. Fingers crossed this works better. Okay, let's see if this did anything. Looks the same as yesterday. No. Do I do another coat? I'm gonna try just lifting off the plastic and let it dry a little bit more. I don't know, you guys, I've never had this much trouble before. Okay, I have our little temperature gun that Brian likes to use when he makes steaks, so you could tell me how cold it is down here. 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Will it matter that much? I mean, yeah, it's like 60 down here. I'm gonna do another layer on top and then bring a space heater down here. That way it actually dries more because it's still really wet and I just don't know what to do. So I think this might be the best option. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to sand a lot of this down. I'm not gonna give up on this yet. I'm gonna do one more coat and then we'll come back to it. I got my space heater set up, but I think I may have spoken too soon because I did clean up one area with mineral spirits and TSP, and look, you guys, it's so much lighter and also not orange anymore. So I think since it was wet, it was still looking very orange, but it looks like we're good to go. So I'm gonna start scraping the whole entire thing and then clean it off and then let it dry so that we get this beautiful result. This is almost dry, but I do notice there's a couple of darker spots, so I'm actually gonna go in with the brass brush here and just go in there and take out some more of that color. This is pretty abrasive when it comes to wood, so I would say just use it on the inner parts like this. Otherwise, you could scratch up too much of the wood off. But as you can see, it's already lightening up these little dark spots already.
Ma'am, are you okay?
Gonna throw this out now.
Want to tell the people anything?
Honestly, I thought this project was gonna be a breeze, but it took a lot longer than I thought. But look at this color. so good. The wood is looking really great. I'm gonna go ahead and lighten it up just a little bit more with some bleach. I've seen this all over the internet, but I haven't tried it for myself. So I did test a little corner. I'm doing a 50-50 ratio of water to bleach just to be a little bit on the safer side. And I'm just gonna do one coat first. And then after the first coat, we'll see if we wanna do a second or even a third coat. This bleach was working really well, and I ended up doing a couple of coats and making sure that it dried down in between each of the coats. And although I have stripped wood before, bleaching it is new to me, especially when you're just using household bleach from the laundry room. You can definitely use wood bleach that is made specifically for bleaching wood, but I think that this 1-to-1 ratio of the bleach to water really did the trick here. I've also seen people go straight in with bleach without diluting it, but I just wanted to be safe here. When something doesn't go according to plan, I like to just sit with it for a little bit and work through it. And if this project has taught me anything, it's to have patience and do not give up on your vision. DIY is a never-ending learning process, and I'm here to share with you guys my entire process so that you can learn from my mistakes and successes for your own DIYs. Okay, so we are on the way to grab some fabric right now. I'm still trying to decide on what exactly I'm looking for. I know I kind of want a more oatmeal-y color because I think that's kind of a safe option for this bedroom makeover that I'm doing. And I'm still deciding if I want to use something that is linen or velvet. It kind of just depends on what we can find there. So fingers crossed that we get something good. Okay, I really like this one. It's a good color, and then the one underneath also is really great. It is an oatmeal color, which is kind of exactly what I'm looking for. It is $21.49 per yard. I'm not sure if that is a good price or not, but I only need about 2 of them. I'm in the upholstery aisle right now, and look at all these fun patterns that they have. This makes me really want to learn how to sew. I found this velvety material, which is like a brownish gray oatmeal color, and I think it is the winner, and it's also on sale. Okay, so that was quite the experience. Oh God. All right, I'm back, and I have all of our supplies for the actual upholstery of the headboard. I also ended up going to Home Depot, so they cut everything down for me, which is really convenient because that saves me a lot of time. And I'm just using a 1/4 inch MDF since we don't need anything too thick for this project. Originally, I was going to use foam for this project, but it just ended up being way too thick. So then I thought I could just make it with the batting here, and I think that is plenty of cushion for what I need it for. I didn't really want anything too thick on there, so I think this is gonna be perfect, and I'll either do 1 layer or maybe 2 layers depending on how it looks. And I did end up going with this velvety option. I really just love the color, and I think it's gonna contrast nicely against the wood grain. I'm gonna test out to see if 2 layers of batting is gonna be too much or if I should just stick to 1. And then we have our fabric over top. Oh yeah, I think that is perfect. Not too thick, but still enough cushion on there. All right, so I'm gonna cut this down, iron it out, and get it onto the MDF. The trickiest part is always the corners, so what I like to do is just get off some of the excess right here and cut it off. And then I'm gonna start by taking the corner here and just stapling that down. And then what you can do is just fold it over and again, cut some of that excess off. After many staples, here is our first panel. This is exactly the width that I was looking for. It has a little bit of squish to it, which is perfect for the headboard, and now I have to make 2 more. This turned out so good! I absolutely love this wood color. Can you guys see the difference between this and then this? Like, it is a huge change. This was actually my first time bleaching wood, and the results are really amazing. And the best part was I didn't have to do a lot of sanding, especially since there's so much detail work. I knew it would have been hard to try to go in with a sander, so stripping it and then using the TSP and the bleach worked out really well. I think we were just about ready to finish this up, so I'm just going to add on a top coat just to protect the wood, and then we can add on the 3 panels. This is dry. Are you ready to see the transformation, you guys? Let's put each of the panels on. Oh my god, this looks so beautiful. I absolutely love how this looks with the wood tone. To attach this, I'm going to use some stronghold glue, and I might brad nail it, but I think this might be enough, especially since this is pretty lightweight. This honestly looks better than I thought it was going to, and I'm so glad that I went with this velvety material. It looks so high-end. I actually ended up just leaving the glue on and weighing it down while it dried, and that did just the trick without using any additional nails. You just want to make sure that you're using a very heavy-duty adhesive to do this. I really like this one that I'm using, so I will link this one as well as everything else that I used in this video below for you. What a roller coaster this project was. I'm going to show you guys the before in case you missed the orange wood tones. And with a little bit of DIY magic, here is what it looks like now. I am so in love with the new bleach wood tone. I think it's going to look so perfect in its new home. And pairing it with this grayish velvet material is just perfection. What do you guys think about the thrift flips? I just feel like it looks so much more expensive. The wood tone on this just came out so perfect, and I hope it gives you some inspo to flip some items of your own. I actually set this up on a fake bed because I just have my 2 ottoman chases pushed together to create this little bed looking situation, but this will be going in an upcoming makeover that I shared a little sneak peek of over on Instagram. But leave me your guesses below on where you think this is gonna end up. I think it's gonna look so beautiful. I cannot wait to get it into its final home, and I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe below if you haven't already so that you don't miss out on the full makeover of where this ends up. That is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!